Thank you for joining us for Stretch and Flow with Rashi. We hope you enjoy today's class.
Hello, Rashi from Stretch and Play here. Today I'm going to film a shorter sequence, so about 25 to 30 minutes, just that can be done at any time of the day. I've been sitting a lot today, more than I normally would, working from home. And so I thought I'd just film a simple body stretch, predominantly mat based, although we will stand up, that you can do. It's nice if you've had a busy day to do at the end of the day, or if you are working from home, which during this time a lot of us are working from home, you can incorporate it throughout your day if you feel like you just need to move a little or give your body a good stretch. So don't need any props. If you've got some props, feel free to bring them. Otherwise, come into a seated posture. And as we move today, I'd really love you or invite you to just focus on the word kindness. And that starts with ourselves first. So just allow yourself to come into a comfortable seated posture. Everything's going to be very gentle, very compassionate, and very kind. So as we move through the postures, just have that in the forefront of your mind and your heart. So let's start by perhaps breathing a little together. So shutting the eyes down or taking a little gaze down at your mat. Just notice how the neck and the shoulders are feeling. You might just want to shrug each shoulder up or both shoulders up at the same time. Take some rotation. Might even want to just drop the head from side to side, forwards, and then just tipping it backwards with care. Just get a sense of how the body's feeling. Bring the body to stillness. Let's just take 3 breaths together. So a deep inhale in through the nose. A big letting go sigh out the mouth. 2 more like that. Inhaling in through the nose. A big letting go sigh out the mouth. Let's do 1 more together. Breathing in, soften through the shoulders, lift up through the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, just letting the breath out completely. Bringing the body back to neutral. Just place the left hand on the right thigh. The right hand comes behind to support you. A gentle twist. Inhaling, lengthening through the crown of the head. As you exhale, turn and gaze over that right shoulder. Inhaling to lengthen, soft jaw. Exhaling to twist. Let's bring everything back around to center. Just take the twist on the other side. So right palm on left thigh or knee, left hand behind to support you. Breathing in to lengthen. And breathing out, perhaps twisting a little bit more. 1 more breath here. And then bringing everything all the way back round to center. Reach the arms up, take a gaze up as well. Feel that first stretch. As you exhale, bring the hands to your heart space. Firm pressure in the palms, but soft shoulders. Do 2 more like that. So breathing in, just blowing out the cobwebs, perhaps from sitting all day. And then breathing out, bringing the hands to your heart space. Bring yourself to this present moment. 1 more. Inhaling to reach all the way up. As you exhale, down to your heart center. Just place that left palm down the left side of the body. You can grip the fingertips out a little bit more. Feel that first initial stretch. On the inhale, reach up with the right arm. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, floating over to the left. Let's hold this stretch. You can angle the neck or the chin. Maybe just be curious and play around. What feels good for your body, what gives you a good stretch. And really reach over with that right arm, the right fingertips. Know that kindness is universal. It's a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. And 1 kind word can change someone's day. Start with yourself. Be kind to yourself first. Feel that stretch down the right side, reaching over a little bit more. One more breath. And then use that left palm just to propel you back up. The left arm comes to meet it. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, reach the arms in front of you and round the back as though you're just curving the belly in. Inhale, reaching up with the arms, palms facing up, the gaze can follow. And as you exhale, that rounding in of the back, softening of the neck as the gaze is down and engaging the core. Let's do one more. Breathing in to reach up. And as you breathe out, just that rounding down. Inhale, both arms reach up. Keep that left arm extended. Swipe the right palm to the right side of the body. Again, creeping the fingertips out a little bit more. Take a breath in as that left arm reaches up. And as you breathe out, this time reaching over to the right, getting into the left side body. Feeling that stretch here. Again, maybe just playing around with the angle of the neck and the chin. You might want to look up to that left elbow. You might want to tuck the chin a little bit more. Do what feels good for your body, which gives you that right stretch. Keep the jaw soft and the breath flowing. We're holding it for a couple more breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Know that kind words can be short. They can be easy to speak, but their echoes can be truly endless. One more breath. Again, using that right palm, just lift the left arm up, the right arm follows. Take a big breath in. Add a gentle back bend here, so leaning back, shining the heart out. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, take a swan dive down to your mat. Come onto your finger bounds, and then just easy, just creep them out forward. Some of you may come down onto your forearms, or you can just stay on your finger mounds. Keep the back nice and soft and flat. Just creeping them out. You might just want to lift one palm up, dropping the other palm. Perhaps taking a gentle rock. Let everything be kind and nourishing to your body. Keep the gaze low. You might want to come a little further forward. Dropping down. Feel that little pull at the top of the legs. Soften the gaze down to the mat. Just take some deep inhales and exhales. This is a beautiful, gentle flow. Perhaps even have the philosophy of being known for your kindness and for your grace and for your compassion. Let's get a little bit into the side body. So just that easy walk over to that right side. Almost like you're in front of that right knee, making a diagonal line. And then again, either stay on the finger mounds, creeping them forward, or you can drop down onto the forearms if you have the range. Try and keep that left hip pushing down towards the left side of the mat so it doesn't lift up too much. Drop the gaze. Feel the stretch down that left side. Take a few deeper breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. And then gently again, taking everything nice and easy, nice and kind on your body as you just walk the finger mounds over to the left, coming in front of that knee, staying on the finger mounds or dropping onto the palms and forearms, dropping the gaze down, perhaps even just shaking the head a little, releasing any tension. This time feeling the stretch down the right side of the body as you lunge forward with the arm. A few breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. And then gently walking the hands back towards the body. Bringing the palms behind you this time, so giving the shoulders plenty of room. For some of you, your fingertips may be facing behind you. For some of you, it's more nourishing for your shoulders, for the fingertips to be placed in front of you, like towards the front of the body. So have a play around. Widen the stance of the palms just to give your shoulders plenty of room. Take a breath in, really open the heart out, so you're taking a back bend. Holding it for 3, 2, 1. And then walk yourself back to a neutral spine. Make your way onto all fours, whether crossing over the ankles is more nourishing for you, or just kicking the legs to the side and coming down onto all fours position. Perhaps a gentle rock of the hips. Just notice how the body's feeling here. Perhaps rocking backwards and forwards too. Just noticing. Perhaps imagine if we all just did one act of random kindness a day, starting with yourself. Bring the rocks to a stillness, drop the gaze down, flatten off the feet. Let's take some cat-cow pose here. Breathing in, the waist goes back as the gaze goes up. And as you breathe out, rounding and arching. Just do a couple more here. Inhaling in, waist goes back as the gaze goes up. And as you exhale, rounding and arching. One more in your own breath, just take your time, breathing in and letting the breath go. Coming back to a neutral spine, walking the fingernails back towards the knees. This time dig the toes in. Sit the hips on the heels. If that's too much, you can flatten the feet on. Otherwise, feel the stretch with the hips on the heels. Just rotate the shoulders one way. And then the other way, noticing any tender spots, especially if you've been sitting a lot during the day. And then let your gaze just focus on one spot. The intensity of the stretch with the hips on the heels will deepen. So if it gets too much at any point, you just flatten the feet off. Take a breath in and let the breath go. Interlace the fingertips at the base of the belly, elbows nice and wide. On the breath in, bring the hands to your heart space. On the breath out, push the palms away as you reach forward with the arms and drop the gaze. Inhaling, the arms reach up and over, the gaze can follow. As you exhale, arms out to the side, interlace the fingertips behind you. As you take a breath in, really squeeze the shoulder blades and gaze up. And as you breathe out, keep the hips on the heels, but just reach forward with the palms, interlocking the fingers as you guide everything back. This time we'll add the legs. So on the breath in, palms to your heart space, elbows wide. On the breath out, engaging the core, scooping the belly button in as you push the arms away and drop the gaze. On the inhale, this time lift the hips up, reach the arms up and over for a back bend. On the exhale, keep the hips lifted, arms come out to the side, interlace the fingertips behind you. Take a breath in as the shoulder blades squeeze together. You can gaze up and shine the heart out. And as you breathe out, this time reaching forward, the hips push back. And the hands make a prayer at your heart space and the hips lift up. Make a pistol grip with the fingers, pointer finger facing up, interlocking the other fingertip. Inhale, reach the arms and up and over for a back bend. As you exhale, reach the arms in front of you. Start to engage the quad muscles in the core as you start to lean back. Soften the gaze down so there's no straining in the neck. Inhale, you reach up again, all the way, taking that back bend at the top. And as you exhale, reaching forward as you lean back. One more. Inhale to reach up and over. Exhale to come forward. Take that lean back a little bit more. Soften the jaw, keep the breath flowing for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to reach up. As you exhale, take a swan dive back down to the mat. Release the feet so that the tops of the feet are on the mat, the feet are flat. Just give them a little tap. It's releasing any tension out the toes. Coming back to stillness. And then digging the toes back in. Just come up for downward facing dog. If you want to stay on all fours, feel free to stay on all fours. Remember, we're just using this practice just to stretch the body out. If you've been sitting all day, it can get a little bit stagnant. So using just breath and movement, almost like a reset and a refresh. In downward facing dog, bend the knees a lot, angle the hips up towards the ceiling, push the upper body back towards the thighs. Give the head a shake, yes and no. Get rid of any tension that's holding on in your body. Inhale, lift the heels up. As you exhale, swivel them over to the right. Feel the little pull in the side. Inhale, coming back through center, lifting the heels, bending the knees. As you exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, back to center, bend the knees. Take a glance up to the top of the mat, either a little jump or a step up to the top of the mat. Just hanging ragdoll for a breath or two. Soften the crown of the head towards the mat. Again, if you've been stagnant or sitting for the day, you might just want to rock the hips from side to side. Take a breath in, let the breath go. Feet are roughly hip width apart. On the inhale, sweep the arms up. Keep the knees soft, especially if the back is pulling. On the exhale, hands to your heart space. Empty the breath completely. Inhale, the arms can reach up and over for a back bend, shining the heart out. As you exhale, take a swan dive down to your mat. Empty the breath. A halfway lift, a nice flat back. A forward fold as you empty the breath. On the inhale, reaching all the way up to standing, take a big breath in, making that pistol grip. On the exhale, just floating to one side, it doesn't matter which, the feet are firm. Inhale, you're rising up again. Exhale, over to the other side. One more on each side. Breathing in to rise up. Breathing out, taking the stretch to the side. Inhaling, reaching up again. Exhaling, over to the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up, split the hands roughly to shoulder width distance and keep the shoulders soft, so even micro bending the elbows. So on the inhale, we're just lifting the heels up, coming onto our tippy toes, a gentle balance with kindness. On the exhale, softening the knees, just floating the palms and arms to one side. The gaze can follow the arms. On the inhale, just gentle, lifting the arms up, softening the elbows, taking any tension off the shoulders. And on the exhale, dropping the heels, floating to the other side. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale, a gentle lift, the heels lift up. Exhale, a gentle sway to one side. One more. Inhale to come up. Lift the heels up, come onto those tippy toes. And as you exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up, come onto the tippy toes again. If you're wanting a bit of challenge, as you let the breath go, stay on the tippy toes, keep the shoulders wide and come into seated chair. If that's too much for you, you can drop the heels down so the feet are flat. Otherwise, if you're wanting that challenge, keep the heels lifted. Keep the gaze at one spot, keep pulling up with the arms but dropping down with the hips. Knees are pointing forward, you're holding it for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to come up. You can stay on your tippy toes if you like the extra challenge. As you exhale, drop the heels. Take a swan dive down to your mat. Inhale, a halfway lift. And as you exhale, placing the hands on the mat, let the knees follow. Come back onto all fours position. Just walking the palms to the edges of the mat, dropping into puppy pose. So hips towards ceiling, chest towards mat. If you've been sitting a lot during the day and the upper back is bothering you, just with the way that you've been sitting, turn the eye gaze up towards the front of the mat to feel the stretch in the upper back, and keep pushing the chest down towards the mat and hips to the ceiling. Keep that breath going, inhaling and exhaling. Know that the true act of kindness lies within giving without any expectation of expecting anything in return. One more breath, and then very gently start to walk the hands up, lifting the hips up. Let's take another cat-cow curl here. The breath in, the waist goes back and the gaze goes up. And as you breathe out, rounding and arching. Come back to a neutral spine, soften through the elbows, relax through the shoulders. On the inhale, reach back with that right leg. On the exhale, bend it at the knee, stack it over the left hip first. So take a breath in here, let the breath go. Equal weight in the palms, we're just peeling the hip open. One more breath. Inhale, the right leg shoots back. As you exhale, swing it to the outer edge of the right foot. Scoot the left knee back a little. Let's get into the hips a little bit here. Often with sitting, they can become a little bit tight. And then make some circles. So rocking back with the body, out to the left side, forward, out to the right. You can rock onto the side of the right foot. Just make a few circles. You can take them as slow as you like. Starting to open up the hip. And then you can flip the circle the other way as well. Just being curious. And with anything in this practice, you treat yourself with loving kindness. You do what's right with your body. In the Sanskrit, it's called metta, which literally translated means loving kindness. Perhaps we all need to be a little bit more kinder than is necessary, starting with ourselves. Take one more rotation. And then lunging with that right knee, press into the left hand, breathe the right arm all the way up. Take a big breath in, the gaze can be at the top of that, gazing to the top thumb. One more breath. If you want to take it further, reach back with the top arm and twist the body so you're gazing behind that right shoulder. That might be enough for you. If you want to take it further still, flick the back foot up and catch it and pull it towards you. So be careful if you're taking that extra stretch, it's quite a deep one. You feel a stretch in the quad. You might just want to, again, play around with that foot if you've got hold of it, feeling the stretch deepen as you pull it towards the body. One more breath. And then gently releasing the foot, bringing that right palm back onto the mat. And just walking to the left side of the mat, the open side, so you can just bring the right knee in. And then coming back onto all fours, just making any adjustments that you need to, perhaps rocking from side to side, softening the gaze down onto the mat. And then once you've made the adjustments, just take another cat-cow curl here. A breath in, the waist goes back as the gaze goes up. And as you breathe out, rounding and arching. Coming back to that neutral spine, soften the gaze down onto the mat. This time the left leg extends behind you at hip height. Keep that equal weight in the palms. Soften through the shoulders by micro-bending the elbows. And then bending the knees, stacking it over the right hip. Peeling the hip open. Keep the breath flowing. Inhaling, letting the breath go. One more breath. Extend the left foot back behind you. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, swinging it to the left edge of the mat. Scooting the right knee back a little. And then making those circles with the other hip. Rocking back, coming onto the heel of the foot perhaps. And then rocking forward, out to the left, perhaps coming onto the side of the foot. And taking some rotations one way. If you feel to, you can flip the rotations the other way. Just keeping the mind on your practice, the gaze down low. Know that wealth and status doesn't make you. Your kindness and your character does. Know that you're breathing in. And know that you're breathing out. Just a couple more rotations, just exploring how the body feels. One more breath here. And then we'll meet with that left knee lunging forward. This time the right hand stays on the ground, the left arm reaches up. The gaze can follow to that top thumb. Reach up a little bit taller, take a breath in. This might be enough for you. If you want to add on a little bit, reach back with the left palm, gaze over the left shoulder. You can stop here, or you can flick the foot back and catch it. You may notice a difference on one side compared to the other. If you have hold of the foot, you might just want to play around with it, bringing it in close to the body, seeing what stretch that gives you, or perhaps taking some rotations one way and then the other way. Angle the neck and the chin so there's no straining at all. You're inhaling and you're exhaling. One more breath here. If you have that back foot, just gently release it. Bring the left hand back down to the mat. Walk to the right side of the mat so you can just release the left knee back. Then that gentle rocking action to come back onto all fours, perhaps lifting one knee up, dropping it down, lifting one palm up, dropping it down. Until you realign yourself onto all fours. Let's take a cat-cow curl here. A breath in, the waist goes back and the gaze goes up. And as you breathe out, rounding and arching. Let's come back to a neutral spine. Cross the ankles over or kick the legs out to one side as you come back down onto your sit bones. Just notice how the body feels perhaps to 20 minutes, 25 minutes ago. Just let the sit bones ground you. Lift up through the crown of the head. You're breathing in. And you're breathing out. Gently just drop the head over to the right side. Bring the right palm over to the left ear. Just give it a gentle push over to the right. Release any tension from the shoulder. If you want to add on, just extend the left arm out to the left. Almost like you're trying to touch something with that left middle finger. You're breathing in. And you're breathing out. One more breath. The left hand comes back down. Just use your right fingertips just to gently push the head back to neutral. And then dropping the right hand down. The left hand stays on the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. As you exhale, the head drops over to the left. You can use the left palm just to gently apply pressure to the right ear. Feeling the stretch just deeper. And then you can bring that right arm out if you want that added stretch. Slow down your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. The right hand drops back down. Gently use your fingertips to guide that head all the way back up. And crossing the legs, bringing the feet roughly hip width apart, bending the knees, bringing the hands behind you, either fingertips facing behind you or towards the front of your mat, whatever's nourishing for your shoulders and your body. Press into the palms, press into the feet, either take a back bend with everything seated or pressing into the palms and the feet, lifting the hips up, rocking forward, engaging the glutes. The head can drop back if there's no tension in the neck, holding it for 3, 2, 1, and then very gently just dropping the hips back down. Extending the left leg in front of you, the right foot comes over. Bring the right arm behind you. Keep the toes of the left foot pointing up. On the breath in, the left arm releases up. On the breath out, we're taking a twist. The left elbow pushes the right knee away and you gaze over the right shoulder. With each inhale, that lengthening. With each exhale, perhaps twisting round a little bit more. One more breath here. Bringing everything all the way back round to centre. Just bring the soles of the feet in together. Hold on to the ankles. On the breath in, open the heart up, peel the shoulders back and gaze up. The soles of the feet are pressing together, the knees pushing out to the side. And on the exhale, just start to lean the body over the toes, flat back. Soften the gaze down. Soften the back of the neck, feel the pull in the inner thighs. Holding it for 3, 2, 1. And gently engage the core as you bring the body back up to neutral. This time extending the right leg down the mat. The left foot crosses over. The toes of the right foot are pointing up, pushing out through the soles of the feet. The left hand comes behind to support you. The right arm reaches up. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, the right elbow comes behind that knee. And you take a twist and gaze over the left shoulder. Keep the jaw soft, inhaling, you're lengthening through the crown of the head. As you exhale, twisting a little bit more. One more breath here. And then gently bringing everything back round to centre. Extend both legs down onto your mat. Toes pointing up. On the breath in, reaching up, take a big breath in. On the breath out, hinging from the hips, coming into a forward fold. If you have access to the soles of your feet, grab them. If not, just wherever the hands land. If the hamstrings are particularly tight, just bend the knees a little bit. With each inhale, subtly lengthen through the crown of the head. With each exhale, perhaps floating down a little bit more. Again, remember you're treating yourself with compassion and kindness. It's not about getting all the way down. It's about doing what feels right for your body. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale, perhaps coming down a little bit more. One more breath. And then engage the core as you gently walk the hands up the legs. All the way to neutral. Again, bringing the arms behind you, pointing the toes, lifting the hips up. Either take a back bend with everything seated, or you can lift the hips up, engaging the glutes, pointing the toes away from you, dropping the head back, or just tucking the chin in and looking forward. Protect your neck, whichever pose you've taken. Holding this pose, whether you're elevated or seated, for 3, 2, 1. And then gently, just dropping everything back down. You can either finish your practice lying down in traditional Shavasana, placing a block or a bolster under your knees or lower back, or you can finish your practice seated. So you choose how you'd like to finish your practice. And just allow the breath to be your anchor for the next few rounds of breath. I'll cue you when it's time to come out. But just for now, whether you're seated or lying down, just allow your focus to be on your breath cycle. And if the mind drifts, then perhaps count your breaths. So I'll just be silent, and then I'll cue you when it's time to come out.
Isn't it funny how time seems to slip away so fast? One minute you're happy, the other you're sad. But if you give me one more chance to show my love for you, it's true. I'll stand by your side your whole life through. If life is so short, why won't you let me love you before we run out of time? If love is so strong, why won't you take the chance before our time has come? If life is so short, if life is so short, love is a word that explains how I feel for you. When you're in my arms, all my dreams come true. And when you're not around, you can't hardly see these tears that I'm crying.
Start to become aware perhaps of the sounds around you, the ones that are close to you, perhaps the sound of your own breath. And then bring your awareness to the sounds that are a little bit further away, perhaps within your own space, in the room that you're in. And then perhaps outside the room, and then into the distance. Take a breath in. Let the breath go. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. Take a deep breath in through the nose and letting go sigh out the mouth. Whether you're seated or lying down, just make some gentle movements, perhaps in the fingers, in the toes, giving them a little wriggle. If you're lying down, feel free to stay there for as long as you like. If you're wanting to make the transition to seated, just roll over to your preferred side, and then whichever posture you've taken, we'll just take a few deep breaths here. Just inhaling in through the nose, perhaps an audible sigh out the mouth. Just taking a few breaths here. For beautiful eyes, look for the good in others. For beautiful lips, speak only words of kindness. A silent smile, a friendly word, a nod of encouragement. Kindness is the single most powerful thing we can teach others. If you're coming up to seated, make your way there now. If you're to stay lying down, feel free to be there for as long as you like. On the breath in, reach the arms all the way up. The gaze can follow, the eyes can remain closed. And as you exhale, bringing your hands down to your heart space. Perhaps as we finish the practice, just be curious, and perhaps if you haven't already, I encourage you to do something kind for yourself today before the day ends. And as we finish this beautiful practice, know that kindness is a simple way to tell another struggling soul that there is love to be found in this world. And with anything, kindness starts with yourself first. Namaste.
Thank you once again for joining us for Stretch and Flow with Rashi. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe.